Hello everybody, I am Wednesday's filler-in for today, and I have not thought of a day name. So, there's a lot of things that I could talk about. And I've been thinking about the merits of what I should be talking about, and then I've realized that there are so many things that I would like to talk about. I could talk about truth and goodness, and joy and hope. I could talk about forgiveness. I could talk about the concept that God is our portion and our completion and our satisfaction. I could talk about communication and passion and spreading understanding, and I could talk about knowledge. I could talk about questions and thinking. And I want to talk about T.S. Eliot and poetry and purpose and meaning and what this life really consists of. Friendships, what it means to glorify God, trust, reflecting God's mercy, inspiration in culture, music, peace, heaven, redemption, grace. There are so many things that I potentially could talk about. And as I was thinking of all these things that I could talk about, I asked myself the question, to what end? And so I think the question I have for today is, how ought we to speak? And I don't even mean should we be talking about these good topics. I just mean in what context and to what end, and more how we ought to do this. Is it really worth it? Do people really care about what you have to say? Is it all meaningless chatter in the face of God? What exactly is this? I was reading Ecclesiastes 5 the other day, and verse 2 really has to do with what I'm talking about. It says, "Do not be rash with your mouth, and let not your heart utter anything hastily before God. For God is in heaven, and you are on earth. Therefore let your words be few." Read that? I just don't want to say anything. Because not only does it just tell me, let my words be few, it says, don't let your heart utter anything hastily before God. And when I think about all these things that I would like to talk about, while they're good things, I just wonder if I could even ever do them and speak about them and communicate them to people in the right ways with the right mentality. It reminds me of winter, how spring and summer and fall have all been chattering, and then boom, you get 2 feet of snow and everything is covered in white silence. And you don't necessarily hear the birds, and you don't hear the wind, and it's just all quiet. It reminds me of redeeming the time and how there is so much we have already said. So to answer the question of how ought we to speak, I think that the answer is we need to understand the relation between where we're standing and where God is, and how what we say most of the time may not even be needed to be said at all. And maybe with this video I haven't even said enough. Who knows? But I hope it was clear enough. Have a wonderful Wednesday, everybody. Goodbye.